صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
Brother Mehdi Dirani, Mehdi Hussein Dirani, recitation of Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها كذبت ثمود بطغواها إذ انبعث أشقاها فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها فكذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم بذنبهم فسواها ولا يخاف عقباها. صدق الله العلي العظيم. الفاتحة مع الصلوات.
Muhammad. Ahsan Mehdi Hussein. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Eid al-Zahra Mubarak. First and foremost, on behalf of the Board of Directors, we wish you heartfelt Eid al-Zahra Mubarak. We pray that our efforts of Azadari over the last 2 months are worthy of his acceptance. Ameen. We would also like to express our sincere appreciation to all our volunteers who worked tirelessly over these 2 months to serve the Azadari of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. We pray that the Almighty Allah reward them amply in this world and in the next for their efforts. Ameen. Please, let's recite salawat for all our volunteers. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Upcoming programs. Tomorrow night, the program will start at 7:30 p.m. and Majlis will be recited by Sheikh Jaffari Jaffar, after the brief JSS presentation. Next Thursday, inshallah, we will celebrate the wiladat of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Masalli ala Muhammad wa ala, and the sixth Imam, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. Allah. The program will begin at 7:30 p.m. The Mehfil will be recited by our resident alim, Maulana Said Muhammad Rizvi. During the program next Thursday, there will be an interactive parallel program in the gym for the children aged 5 to 8 years. Please register your child at jaffari.org/parallel program. The Book Cloud, in conjunction with JEC, are pleased to announce the return of their monthly book club. Join them on Sunday, November the 10th at 3 p.m. Open to boys and girls aged 6 to 12 years old. Places are limited, so register early to avoid disappointment. JIY presents Sarah's Kitchen, an exciting cooking event led by one of our youth from the community, Sarah Ajwani, who is extremely passionate about fitness and healthy eating. We are also excited to have Anar Alidina, who will be discussing all things nutrition. Join us on November the 16th from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., where participants will learn how to make quick, easy, and healthy meals. This event is open for everyone ages 14 plus and is ideal for students, professionals, and those individuals that are always on the go. Spots are limited to 50 people on a first-come, first-served basis. For more information, please visit jaffari.org/JIY. JIY is so excited to announce our first ever monthly discussion circles. Register now to attend a phenomenal discussion with Sheikh Jaffar on gender identities in Islam. Bring your friends and grow together. Register today at jaffari.org/JIY. The Holy Prophet ﷺ has said, "Whoever memorize and preserve for my people for 40 hadiths pertaining to their religion with the aim of seeking the pleasure of Allah and the hereafter, Allah will raise him on the day of judgment in the company of jurists and religious scholars." We have, for the month of Rabiul Awwal, prepared a display of 40 hadiths by the Holy Prophet ﷺ on two notice boards, Masalli ala Muhammadin wa ala Imam, on the two notice boards by the ladies' entrance. We encourage Mu'minin to see the display and for the community to participate in trying to memorize these treasures. The Jaffari Tabligh Committee is continuing the Rule Quran courses. This course is for boys and girls ages 8 to 15 years old. Register your child today and be part of the vision to cultivate a community that keeps the Quran alive in the heart and minds. Register and courses details can be found at jtb.jaffari.org/Darul Quran. The Academy of Learning Islam has two exciting upcoming courses for ladies. Join Sister Sakina Hasnali to experiment with mandalas, creating circular designs which helps explore spirituality and self-expression. There is no experience required for this course. Please note, this course now begins November 12th. Secondly, Sister Sabiha Jaffar will be facilitating a course on building a strong family unit in today's fast-paced life. Are you struggling to understand your role in the 21st century? Do you struggle with the juggling life of various demands and trying to increase your spirituality? Then this course is for you. Please visit www.academyofislam.com/registration to learn more and register. Nasimco is holding its 13th Leadership Development Program in New York from February 14th to February 17th. The course helps achieve personal growth, develop leadership practices, and increase political intelligence. The cost for registration before December 8 is $350 US, and after it's $400 US. Limited spots are available, so do register early to avoid disappointment. This Sunday, November the 9th, there will be a program for the 40th of Marhum Qasim Hussaini, the founder of the Babul Hawaii, the oldest Imamwara in GTA. Program to start 6 p.m. with Quran Khani here at JCC. Please join me recite Dua Shifa Marais for all Mu'minin listed on the screen, as well as those who need of a dua. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Amma yujibul mustarih iza da'a wa yakshif su. Amma yujibul mustarih iza da'a wa yakshif su. Amma yujibul mustarih iza da'a wa yakshif su. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء ارحمنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين محمد وآل محمد صلوات. Brother Muhammad Raza Khaki to recite the Mankabat. Can we have a large salawat please? Muhammad وآل محمد صلوات.
جس کو شے کی غلامی میسر نہ ہو، جس کو شے کی غلامی میسر نہ ہو، ایسے سردار کو میں نہیں مانتا. جس کو شے کی غلامی میسر نہ ہو، ایسے سردار کو میں نہیں مانتا. جس میں غاصب کو منسک کا عہدہ ملے، جس میں غاصب کو منسک کا عہدہ ملے، ایسی سرکار کو میں نہیں مانتا. میں نہیں مانتا، میں نہیں مانتا، میں نہیں مانتا. جس نے آل محمد کو دھوکہ دیا، جس نے زہرا سے باغ فدق لے لیا، جس نے آل محمد سے کو دھوکہ دیا، جس نے زہرا سے باغ فدق لے لیا، جس نے زہرا سے باغ فدق لے لیا، اس کی ہر ایک خطا مانتا ہوں مگر، اس کی ہر ایک خطا مانتا ہوں مگر، اس خطا کار کو میں نہیں مانتا. میں نہیں مانتا، میں نہیں مانتا، میں نہیں مانتا. جو وصی رسول خدا سے کبھی اپنی بیعت کا طالب ہوا ہو کہیں، جو وصی رسول خدا سے کبھی اپنی بیعت کا طالب ہوا ہو کہیں، اپنی بیعت کا طالب ہوا ہو کہیں، ایسے غدار کو، ایسے مکار کو، ایسے غدار کو، ایسے مکار کو، ایسے عیار کو میں نہیں مانتا. میں نہیں مانتا. اور جو کہ رنگے مودت سے رنگی نہ ہو، جو کہ خاک نجف سے مزین نہ ہو، جو کہ خاک نجف سے مزین نہ ہو، مہر نالین حیدر کہ جس پر نہ ہو مہر نالین حیدر کہ جس پر نہ ہو ایسی دستار کو میں نہیں مانتا میں نہیں مانتا. اور شعر پہ توجہ چاہتا ہوں. میں پکا مولائی ہوں سب صحابہ کا عاشق ہوں شیدائی ہوں سچا مومن ہوں میں پکا مولائی ہوں سب صحابہ کا عاشق ہوں شیدائی ہوں سب صحابہ کا عاشق ہوں شیدائی ہوں. پر جو کہ بعد نبی آل سے پھر گئے جو کہ بعد نبی آل سے پھر گئے ایسے دو چار کو میں نہیں مان. پر جو کہ بعد نبی آل سے پھر گئے ایسے دو چار کو میں نہیں مانتا میں نہیں مانتا. اور غاصبوں کے لیے جو ٹھکانہ بنا لعنت کبریا کا نشانہ بنا لعنت کبریا کا نشانہ بنا. جس کو بنت محمد نے رد کر دیا جس کو بنت محمد نے رد کر دیا ایسی دربار کو میں نہیں مانتا میں نہیں مانتا میں نہیں مانتا میں نہیں مانتا. لا مکاں کا مکاں کعبہ معتبر ایک عبادت ہے تیرا نظارہ مگر لا مکاں کا مکاں کعبہ معتبر ایک عبادت ہے تیرا نظارہ مگر ایک عبادت ہے تیرا نظارہ مگر. در بناتی نگر مرتضیٰ کے لیے در بناتی نگر مرتضیٰ کے لیے تیری دیوار کو میں نہیں مانتا میں نہیں مانتا میں نہیں مانتا میں نہیں مانتا. صلوات.
ما صلی علی محمد وآل جابر علی دینا.
دعا فاطمہ کی ہم اہل عزا ہے ہمیں آزمانے کی کوشش نہ کرنا مقلد ہے میساں کے دار و رسن سے کبھی بھی ڈرانے کی کوشش نہ کرنا ولایت کے منکر سے یہ کہہ رہی ہے لہو کی طہارت صدا دے رہی ہے نجف کی زمیں ہے سقیفہ نہیں ہے یہاں آپ آنے کی کوشش نہ کرنا وہاں بھی علی نے کی مشکل کھشائی لحد کے سرہانے سے آواز آئی عزادار سرور ہے سونے دو اس کو فرشتوں جگانے کی کوشش نہ کرنا دعا فاطمہ کی مسلسل ہے پہرا وہاں انبیاء کا جہاں پر سجا ہے علم با وفا کا خبردار کہہ دے کوئی مشکلوں سے وہاں آنے جانے کی کوشش نہ کرنا دعا فاطمہ کی خدا حکم دیتا ہے میرے محمد کیے جائے سجدوں پہ سجدے محمد خدا حکم دیتا ہے میرے محمد کیے جائے سجدوں پہ سجدے محمد حسین آپ کی پشت پر آ گئے ہیں ابھی سر اٹھانے کی کوشش نہ کرنا دعا فاطمہ کی ہم اہل عزا ہے ہمیں آزمانے کی کوشش نہ کرنا محمد وآل محمد صلوات
اللہم صلی علی احسنت حبیب خدا کتلم یا با از بلند صلوات الفاتحہ
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدحته القائلون ولا يحصي نعماءه العادون ولا يؤدي حقه المجتهدون الذي بعد فلا يرى وقرب فشهد النجوى تبارك وتعالى والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء وخاتم المرسلين وشفيع المذنبين سيدنا ونبينا بالقاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا واللعنة دائمة الباقية لأعدائهم ومنكر فضائلهم وغاصب حقوقهم من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم قل لا أسألكم عليه أجرا إلا المودة في القربى ومن يقترف حسنة نزد له فيها حسنا إن الله غفور شكور صلوات پڑھنے کے بعد May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower His blessings on all of you. In Toronto, for us, this is the first test of winter going to come now. And your presence here is, inshallah, to be rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of course, we also pray for those who are watching us online in the comfort of their homes. That's fine. We pray for them also. Salawat. With the tabrikat and mubarakbadi on this very important occasion in our calendar, after the aza and grief on Sayyid al-Shuhada during the month of Muharram and Safar, tonight we are celebrating Eid al-Zahra salawatullah alayha. Which is kind of a closure to the season of Azah. It's not that we are doing al-Wida in a sense that we are not going to remember if Imam Hussain alayhi salam. No, he's there, part of our life, for the whole year. But especially the special ceremonies that we had during Muharram and Safar now will be coming to the closure. And historically, when we talk about the 9th of Rabiul Awwal, this is the day when Umar ibn Sa'd, the commander-in-chief of the Yazidi forces in Karbala, was killed by Mukhtar bin Ubaidullah Saqafi in Iraq in the year 66 after Hijrah. So we are talking about almost 5 years after the events of Karbala. And when this news of Umar ibn Sa'd's end came to Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salatu wasalam, according to the narrations, Imam expressed his joy and happiness on hearing that news. And according to some of the narrations, that the women of Banu Hashim, after 5 years actually, where they had not even used the cosmetics or be going into the state of normalizing their life, it's only after these 5 years that they allowed themselves to get back to the normal routine of interaction with the people. And so for us, this is a happiness which is linked with the happiness of Imam Zainul Abidin and the Ahlul Bayt. Just a very brief point which I would like to repeat here. I said it before, that why do we call it Eid al-Zahra? You see, the companions of Imam Hussain are known as Ansar of Hussain in the Ziyarat Warisa. And when we address him, we say Salam on Ansar of Hussain. Then we say Salam on Ansar of Hassan. Maybe some of them had not even seen Imam Hassan, but we still declare them as the Ansar of Hassan. And then we say Ansar of Fatima Zahra, Ansar of Ali, Ansar of Rasul, and Ansar of the Deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is where you look at the cause. They might not have seen Rasul or Ali or Fatima or Hassan. They are all Ansar of Hussain, but they are also being considered to be Ansar of Hassan and Fatima and Ali and Rasul, and the Ansar of the Deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Similarly, when we talk about the happiness and farhat of Imam Zainul Abidin, that happiness of Imam Zainul Abidin is the farhat of Imam Hussain. It is the happiness of Hassan. It is the happiness of Fatima Zahra, and therefore, in a symbolic sense, we call it Eid al-Zahra salawatullah alayha. Salawat prandak bara. We have to realize when we talk about these concepts of sadness and joy, these are all linked to this concept in the Quran about the love for the Ahlul Bayt. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Shura, Surah 24, ayat number 23, actually it's Surah number 42, ayat 23, where he says, that, O Muhammad, say to your followers, I don't ask for any compensation or reward for the work that I have done in conveying the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى, except that you love my family members. And this issue of loving the family members is so important that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then describes that by saying, مَنْ يَقْتَرِفْ حَسَنَةً, and whoever acquires a good deed, referring to the mawadda of Ahlul Bayt as a good deed, as a hasana. Whoever acquires the hasana, نَزِدْ لَهُ فِيهَا حُسْنًا, we will increase that goodness. إِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ شَكُورٌ, Allah is all forgiving and thankful. It's probably the only place, I haven't checked it, that Allah describes himself as Shakur. He is thankful to the Ummah for rewarding Rasulullah by loving the Ahlul Bayt, salawatullah alayhim ajma'een. Salawat. And how does this mawadda or hub and love manifest in our life? It reflects by ourselves, relating to the history of the Ahlul Bayt. When we look at the events, those which are related to happiness, we celebrate them. And whatever is the matter of, sorrow for them, this is where we feel this sadness within ourselves. This is one manifestation of mawadda and love. There is a statement in Tuhuful Uqul, one of the famous narrations, compilation of the sayings of the Masumeen, where Amirul Mu'mineen describes his Shias, where he says, it's a long passage, but in one sentence there he says, Shi'atuna yansurunana. Our Shias are those who help us. وَيَفْرَحُونَ بِفَرَحِنَا, and they are the one who rejoice in our happiness. وَيَحْزُنُونَ بِحُزْنِنَا, and they grieve in our sadness. So the reflection of love and being the Shia and follower of Ali is that when there is farh for Ahlul Bayt, we also are happy. When there is huzn for Ahlul Bayt, we are also sad. And these sentiments, these feelings, sadness and happiness, these are very natural. I don't think that anybody can dispute that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created these feelings in our nature. And based on these, feelings, we grieve and mourn the tragedy of Karbala during Muharram and Safar. And when we come to this day, 9th of Rabiul Awwal, we rejoice, the day which brought happiness to Imam Sajjad on hearing the death of Umar ibn Sa'd. As I said, and especially the reaction of the women of Banu Hashim after hearing that news. Salawat. Since both these elements of grief and happiness are related to the concept of love, let me address a question which, in some of the forums has lately come up, especially during the Ayyam of Azar, that should Ashura be a day of celebration or a day of mourning? And the way it's put is interesting. They say, well, since the shahadat of Imam Hussain alayhi salam was a victory for his cause, because what was involved there? Yazid was demanding from Imam Hussain to do bay'at. And in that encounter in Karbala, Imam refused. He refused to pledge allegiance to Yazid, even though he lost his life. So who achieved the purpose there? Yazid didn't really achieve anything there. Imam gave up his life. But he stood his ground. And this is where, for example, one of the, I think it's Allama Iqbal describing Imam Hussain alayhi salam, where he says, Sardar das nada dar daste Yazid. Hussain gave his head, but he didn't give his hand in allegiance to Yazid. Haqqa ke bina ila ilah asked Hussain. Indeed, the foundation of La ilaha illallah is Hussain and his shahadat. Salawat. And so some people then they say, if this is the case, Imam, this is a victory for him. And it's a failure for Yazid, no doubt about it. So Ashura should be the day of celebrating Hussein's victory or not, and not mourning and grieving. Let me say one thing. Sometimes, we come up with ideas, we start discussing, we think, we really have discovered something nobody before us knew about it. Now, this question whether Ashura should be celebrated or commemorated, whether you should have joy on that day for the victory of Hussein, or should you mourn the tragedy of Karbala on the day of Ashura, this is not a new question. During our own time, about 50 years ago, Shaheed Murtaza Mutahiri, in one of his writings on the concept of Shahadat. Actually, when I came to Vancouver in 1983, just the year after that, in 1984, we came up with a compilation of some of the articles, my own and others, including where I had even the translation which I did of Shaheed Murtaza Mutahiri's article on Shahadat. He also actually talks about this issue, that there are some people who say, why don't we celebrate the event of Ashura? Because it was a victory for Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And Shaheed Murtaza Mutahiri has his own way of explaining things. I would like to summarize his discussion on this issue. He says, remember, when you talk about Shahadat and martyrdom, there are two different perspectives, two different angles that you can look at the Shahadat. One is the individualistic and martyr's perspective of Shahadat. From the perspective of the Shaheed, Shahadat is indeed the greatest achievement. And it fulfills two important desires of the awliya and the friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number one, once you attain Shahadat, that is the highest of the good deed. There is nothing above it. In some of the ahadith we are told, whatever good deed you do, don't say this is the end of it. There is something you can do even better, except when it comes to Shahadat. Not only because you cannot even do anything after that anyway, but because you actually are giving up the most precious thing that Allah has given to you, and that is your life. And you are giving that in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there is no khair and hasana about the issue of Shahadat. And when you go through Shahadat, a Shaheed is basically assured that he will certainly attain a lofty status in the Akhirah. And so when we look at it from the individualistic martyr's perspective, Shahadat indeed is a victory. It is fawzan azim. It is the greatest achievement that a person can have. And therefore you will see, for example, when Ibn Muljim struck Amir al-Mu'minin Ali bin Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam, what did he say? Fustu wa Rabbil Kaaba. What does that mean? By the Lord of the Kaaba, I have indeed succeeded. Because he knew, and he has said this many times, that death is eventually. Nobody can run away from it. Even Rasulullah had to go through death. But he was saying, I would rather prefer, go through this process of death by the path of Shahadat and not die on the bed. And so for him, this was indeed, when he says, Fuztu, I have indeed achieved success by the Lord of the Kaaba. And so for him, Shahadat was a matter of achievement and victory. Even Imam Hussain alayhi salam, in one of his statements when he was going to Karbala, he says, I think this was probably when he was talking to Muhammad Hanafiya, where he says, my grandfather said to me that, O Hussein, Allah has reserved a very high position for you in his view. which can only be attained by martyrdom and shahadat. So for Hussein ibn Ali, shahadat was the most desirable wish and utmost, perfection for him. And so this is the individualistic, martyr's perspective about shahadat. And so if you want to talk about happiness and celebration, that's where you should be thinking about. But then you look at it from this, and this is where Shaykh Mutahiri then comes to the second perspective. Different angle of looking at shahadat. He says from the social point of view, from the perspective of the people. Can I request the brothers to move on this side more, please? And so when we talk about the second perspective as far as martyrdom and shahadat is concerned, he talks about this issue that from the perspective of the people, the very first thing is that what were the circumstances which resulted in the shahadat of Imam Hussain alayhi salam? And what did generate later on? And this is where we talk about the relationship of the shaheed with the people of the time. And this relationship is of two types. When it comes to the people who loved him, especially when we talk about Imam Hussain alayhi salam, for them, his shahadat is what? Their wish would be that we wish that he would be alive, so that we can benefit from him, from his presence and his guidance. But because of the shahadat, now we have been deprived of that opportunity. And as far as other group in the society at that time who caused this corruption which ended up in the tragedy of Karbala, these are the people who basically for them, shahadat of Imam Hussain alayhi salam would be a different, spin to it. And naturally, from the social point of view, the enemies who caused about the shahadat of Imam Hussain will be rejoicing. But the friends of the shaheed, who have been deprived of his person and guidance, will be grieving. So from the perspective of the society, there are two groups. Yes, one will be celebrating those who caused the shahadat. But those who feel the loss of their Imam, his presence and his guidance, they will not be celebrating, they will be mourning and grieving. Salawat padhne ek baar aur. And so he ends by saying that, this whole process of aza, mourning and grieving, lamenting for the shaheed is actually, a reflection of what they have lost as far as a guide like Hussein ibn Ali is concerned. And this is where, those who go through that grief, it forces them to reflect on the causes of shahadat. Why did it happen? And if they can really get in touch with the spirit of the movement of Hussein ibn Ali, they will work in their own circles, in their own societies, in their own time, to make sure that those kinds of circumstances do not take place again. This is because they are going through this process of, grief and mourning. And on a personal level, it will actually help them to think about it. That I don't want to be in my character and belief like those who caused the shahadat of Hussein ibn Ali. And so when we talk about this element of huzn, this is very powerful. And let me, end with this direct quotation from Shaheed Murtada Mutahiri, where he says, it is from this aspect, where he talks about, aza as, lamenting for the martyr means participating in his enthusiasm, harmonizing with his spirit and moving in his direction. And then he says it is from this aspect that we should study whether celebration, merry-making, dancing, and drinking are the means of participating in the enthusiasm of the shaheed or lamenting for him. In the state of weeping, one feels more united with his beloved. Laughter and merry-making mostly has a personal, individual aspect, whereas weeping and lamentation mostly has an aspect of self-denial and uniting with the beloved, where you don't think about yourself, you more think about the shaheed. In other words, he says, laughter is like sexual passion, whereas weeping is like love. And there is a very clear difference between the two. Salawat pढ़ने एक बार और. So it's not only just 50 years ago that this question came up. The Shaheed Mutahiri had to respond to it and give an explanation about it. You know, even 7 centuries ago, you might have heard the name of a famous alim known as Sayyid ibn Ta'us. Sayyid ibn Ta'us was one of the descendants of Sheikh Tusi, and very much, you know, expert in the books on dua and ziyarat. Many things have survived from him as far as his works is concerned. So we are talking about 7 centuries back. He has a book on the events of Karbala. And in the preface there, he talks about this issue. So this is not a new issue. You know, he says, وَلَوْلَا إِمْتِثَالُ أَمْرِ السُنَّةِ وَالْكِتَابِ. He says, if it hadn't been for the command of the Sunnah of the Ma'soom and the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in order to put on the clothings and the actions and this issue of mourning and grieving on the tragedy of Karbala, if I was alone without these ahadith of the Ma'asumeen and this instruction of the Quran or the philosophy of the Quran, I would have celebrated the day of Ashura as a victory of Hussein ibn Ali. So it's nothing new, you know, that sometimes people think about it. They think we've come with very creative, revolutionary idea. Baba, these are all old things. You know, चबाए हुए लुक़मे, इसका हल बहुत पहले हो चुका है. सलावत पढ़ने एक बार और. He says this is where, you know, we came to realize that it is in the clothing of mourning and in the shedding of the tears and in making our eyes, you know, flow the tears and the crying. This is where we get the thawab from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is what has been recommended by the Imams who came after the events of Karbala. So let me conclude this part of my talk here, that when a Shia feels sadness on the shahadat of Hussein ibn Ali, he becomes emotional. When you become emotional, when you cry, you know, even in personal tragedies, if somebody loses somebody who is very close, you know, people, especially the old people who have seen life, and they observe the human psychology, they say, you know, make this person cry. Because when a person who has lost somebody else, when they go in shock, you will see they're sitting there. You know, no weeping is there. They said, make this man or woman cry. Because when they cry, this is where they will be able to have this sense of closure for their loss. It has an impact on their psychology, on their health also. And so when we cry for Imam Hussain alayhi salam, we become emotional. Our hearts, symbolically, become soft. And then we are better able to imbibe the message of Hussein ibn Ali. And this state and this conclusion or benefit that we get in Azah, you cannot attain that if you were celebrating on the day of Ashura the victory of Hussein by eating biryani and having sharbat on that day. What happens in Christmas here? Does that increase their spirituality? Do they get closer to the values of Jesus? No. It has become a social event. It is just, merrymaking, becoming happy, and that's it. And this is where we have to realize that this issue of, aza and huzn and gham, this is actually in line not only with the teachings of the Ahlul Bayt, but also helps us in understanding and imbibing the message of Hussein ibn Ali in a better way. Salawat alaik barak. So the mazhab of Ahlul Bayt is based on this concept of hub. There are two concepts that Allah has, or the feelings that Allah has created in our hearts. And which are there? Both of them are there. One is known as hub, love, and the other is known as bughd, which is hatred. Although we don't like the word, but it is there. It is a reality whether you accept it or not. And this is where we have to realize that it all boils down to this issue whether the love and hatred is for the sake of the truth or not. If you say you don't like this person because he comes from this qabila and race, or this color, or speaks this language, or he comes from this social, background, these are all wrong kind of, sentiments. But if it is based on the issue of haqq, then this is part of the nature. When we talk about the love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the love for Rasulullah, the love for Ahlul Bayt, this is where we have to realize you cannot then have in your heart a soft corner for the opposite. You cannot say, I believe in Allah, but Ram and Krishna is okay. Either you're here or there. You can't be here and there also. It's clear. And this is where we have to realize, I'm just giving a very obvious example, I'm not talking about this issue of, so we don't mix things. When we talk about Rasulullah, he is the Rasul. When we talk about the Ahlul Bayt, we cannot say, like some people say, well, Ali is our spiritual leader, first Imam, and so is our political first Imam. There's a new thing coming up among some of the Sufi Pakistanis. You can't have both, because there is a lot of contradiction between the two. And this is where we have to realize that even Quran talks about it. When you look at Surah Ahzab, there are two ayats which are side by side. The first one says, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi, ya ayyuha alladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Everybody knows, I don't have to translate this ayat. But immediately after that, the ayat goes on to say, Inna alladhina yudhuna Allah wa rasulahu. The first one is a prayer for Rasul. And the way he has taught includes Al Rasul also. And the second ayat is saying those who hurt Allah and His Rasul. How can you hurt Allah? But this is what is the ayat is saying. Inna alladhina yudhuna Allah wa rasulahu la'anahum Allah fi dunya wal akhirah. Allah sends His la'an. La'an means depriving them of the mercy. In this dunya and the akhirah, وَعَدَّ لَهُمْ عَذَابًا مُهِينًا. And He has prepared for them a very serious azab in the hereafter. So you have this dua for the barakat and rahmat of Allah on Muhammad and ala Muhammad. And then you have the ayat about bad dua. Bad dua and bad dua is the same thing. One is Urdu, the other is English. Salawat is dua. Allahumma. The other one is basically when you talk about la'anahu Allah fi dunya wal akhirah, this is bad dua. One is benediction, the other is malediction. And they go hand in hand. Actually, if you look at this banner here, that is the ayat which has been written there. Salawat padne ek baar aur. Salawat padne ek baar aur. And therefore in Ziyarat Waris, what do you recite there? That may Allah deprive qawman, may deprive the people from His mercy, those who have qatalatka wa zalamatka, those who killed him, physically who were there. Those who brought about those circumstances, they might not be there physically, but they were involved in killing Hussein. And even those who heard about it, even if they come centuries after the events of Karbala, but they are pleased with it. They are pleased with what happened to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. This is where we have to realize, you can't just have a, oh, we believe in Imam Hussein alayhi salam, we'll do everything, but when it comes to Yazid and Amr ibn Sa'd and Hurmala and Ibn Ziyad, well, we'll leave, Allah will decide on them. We don't say anything about it. Then don't recite this ziyarat. And this ziyarat is not from an alim, not from a marja. People don't like them anyway these days. This is from a Masoom Imam, from Imam Jaffari as-Sadiq alayhi salatu wa salam. Salawat padne. At least on Ziyarat Waris, there is no dispute, that is authentic or not. And it is there very clearly. And so when we talk about this issue, we have to realize, there are this concept of hub fillah wal bughz fillah. Love for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And to disassociate with someone for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is a statement from the 11th Imam where he's quoting a hadith of the Prophet where he talks about this issue. That is important to realize that you cannot attain the wilayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unless you have this issue of hub and bughz. Fillah, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَإِن كَثُرَ صَلَاتُهُ وَصِيَامُهُ حَتَّى يَكُونُ ذَلِكَ. Even if you say do so many prayers and fast for so many, years, if you don't have this concept of hub fillah and bughz fillah, it doesn't mean anything. And so this person asked Rasulullah, فَكَيْفَ لِي أَنَا أَعْلَمُ أَنِّي قَدْ وَالَيْتُ وَعَادَيْتُ فِي اللَّهِ. How would I know? Give me some example. How would I know that I have really loved Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, loved for sake of Allah, and disassociated myself from someone for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that I can, follow that person, love that person, or disassociate from the other. فَعَشَارَ لَهُ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ إِلَىٰ عَلِيٍّ. Rasulullah pointed towards Ali and he told him, أَتَرَى هَذَا? Do you know him? He says, yeah, I know him. And this is where Rasulullah says, وَلِيُّ هَذَا وَلِيُّ اللَّهِ. Whoever follows him is a friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَوَالِهِ. So love that person. وَعَدُوُّ هَذَا. Whoever is the enemy of this person, عَدُوُّ اللَّهِ is the enemy of Allah, فَعَادِيهِ. Disassociate from him. Salawat padne. Sometimes we don't want to talk about the issue of tawalla and tabarra. We say, you shouldn't be talking about it. These are different times. And it's interesting, you go to this secular liberal society and try to talk positively about Hitler. Will it be acceptable? or try to diminish or downgrade what he has done, it becomes a criminal case now. For us, when we talk about Yazid, when we talk about Ibn Ziyad, when we talk about Umar ibn Sa'ad, when we talk about Hurmala and all these people, these are the Hitlers for us. We can't have any soft corner for them at all. And this concept of tabarra and tawalla, this is their part of Islam. MashaAllah, many of you have gone for Hajj. These days the numbers of Hujjaj is increasing. And may Allah, increase it even more. It is becoming easier. People are more, they can afford more to go for Hajj. But if you have gone to Hajj and you didn't think about it, maybe you should rethink about it and maybe go again. What is the whole process of Hajj? Hajj is remembering the sacrifice of Ibrahim alayhi salam. The willingness to give up your life for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is tawalla. But remember, before you reach to that point where you follow the sunnah of Ibrahim, there are certain steps that you have to take. First, you go from Mecca to Arafat. You have to increase your awareness about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by, for example, reciting and understanding the dua Arafah of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And you come to realize the majesty and the power and the glory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Arafat. Once you have improved your ma'rifat, this is where Arafah, the place is known as Arafat based on that. Once you have increased your familiarity with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you spend the night in Muzdalifah. What do you do there? You pick up pebbles. For what? Next day, you can't say, I'm in Mina, I'll go and do the Qurbani first. That is tawalla. Before that, you had to do tabarra. You use those pebbles to stone the 3 symbols of shaitan there. Once you have done the tabarra, then you go to the level of tawalla and you do the sacrifice there. So whether you realize it or not, tawalla and tabarra is part of what we do. Whether it is in La ilaha illallah or it is in the Hajj. Salawat padhne ek baar aur. Once you have reached to that stage and done the Qurbani, then you go to Makkah and then you kiss one special stone, which is only one. This is where you have to realize symbolism is very important there when we talk about Hajj. When we talk about Imam Hussain alayhi salam, let me end with 1 or 2 hadiths here. प्रॉब्लम उर्दू भूल ना जाए, उसकी तरफ जाएंगे हम. सलावत पढ़ने एक बार और. इमाम हुसैन अलैहिस्सलाम का एक मशहूर लक़ब जो बाद में मिला है, शहादत के बाद हम लोग कहते हैं सय्यदुश शुहदा, यानी शुहदा के सरदार हैं वो. ये टाइटल जो इमाम हुसैन को मिला था नया नहीं था. पहली बार तारीख़ इस्लाम में ये यूज़ हुआ है जनाब हमज़ा के लिए. शुहदा बहुत थे, स्पेशली ओहद में सिर्फ जनाब हमज़ा शहीद नहीं हुए थे. अमीरुल मोमिनीन ने लेटर में जो मुआविया के लेटर के जवाब में लिखा था, जहाँ अहले बैत की फजीलत का जिक्र था, उसमें यह था कि बहुत से शहीद हुए उस दिन, लेकिन जब हमारा घर का एक फ़र्द शहीद हुआ तो उसको जो है सय्यदुश शुहदा का टाइटल दिया गया. رسول اللہ نے دیا ہے، اور یہ ٹائٹل چلا ہے یہاں تک کہ واقعات کربلا ہوئے، امام حسین علیہ السلام کی شہادت ہوئی، اور اس کے بعد یہ ٹائٹل جو ہے منتقل ہو جاتا ہے حسین ابن علی پر۔ جناب حمزہ ابھی بھی سید الشہداء ہیں، لیکن حمزہ سید الشہداء ہیں اپنے دور کے، جبکہ حسین سید الشہداء ہیں تمام ادوار کے۔ صلوات پڑھنے ایک بار آپ۔ جناب مریم کے بارے میں مثلا خدا نے کہا ہے کہ سیدۃ النساء العالمین، اب جناب سیدہ کے لیے بھی وہی ٹائٹل ہے، فرق یہ ہے کہ مریم جو ہیں سیدہ ہیں اپنے زمانے کی خواتین کی، اور فاطمہ سیدہ ہیں پورے دور کے تمام ادوار کے خواتین کی۔ تو یہ القاب اپنی جگہ پہ ہیں، لیکن جو اہمیت دی گئی ہے محمد آل محمد کو وہ اپنی جگہ پہ ہے۔ خود امام حسین علیہ السلام کے لیے رسول اللہ نے ایک جو جملہ کہا ہے، شیخ صدوق نے اپنی کتاب عیون اخبار رضا میں 4 نریٹرز کے تھرو، جہاں جہاں نریٹرز بٹوین دی کمپائلر آف دی بک اینڈ دی معصوم امام کم ہوں، اس میں اس حدیث کی سند جو ہے اس کو زیادہ سٹرونگ مانی جاتی ہے، چونکہ وہ جو نریٹرز بیچ میں ہے وہ کم ہو جاتے ہیں۔ 4 واسطوں سے شیخ صدوق نے یہ حدیث بیان کی ہے 9 امام سے، جو فرماتے ہیں کہ میں نے اپنے بابا سے سنا، اور یہ سلسلہ جاتا ہے امام حسین تک، جہاں امام حسین کہتے ہیں کہ ایک دن ہم اپنے نانا کی خدمت میں گئے، اور وہاں ابی بن کعب بیٹھا تھا، ایک صحابی تھے رسول کے۔ تو رسول السلام نے جب حسین کو دیکھا تو کہا مرحبا بکا یا ابا عبداللہ، ویلکم۔ اب بہرحال وہ نانا تھے، وہ نواسا ہے، ویلکم کریں گے ہی، لیکن اس کے بعد ایک جملہ کہا، مرحبا بکا یا ابا عبداللہ یا زین السماوات والارضین۔ مرحبا، ویلکم، وہ جو آسمانوں کا اور زمین کے زینت ہے۔ تو ابی بن کعب کو بڑا تعجب ہوا، اس نے کہا کہ یا رسول اللہ، آپ کے علاوہ کوئی اور، کس طرح سے کوئی اور جو ہے آسمان و زمین کی زینت بن سکتا ہے؟ تو اس وقت رسول نے کہا کہ یا ابی والذی بعثنی بالحق نبیا، اس خدا کی قسم جس نے مجھے نبی کی حیثیت سے مبعوث کیا ہے، ان الحسین بن علی فی السماء اکبر منہ فی الارض، حسین کا مرتبہ آسمان میں کہیں گنا زیادہ ہے بنسبت وہ مرتبہ جو دنیا میں ہے۔ فَإِنَّهُ لَمَكْتُوبٌ عَنْ يَمِينِ عَرْشِ اللَّهِ، معراج کی بات کرتے ہیں کہ جب ہم وہاں گئے تھے ہم نے دیکھا تھا عرش الہی کے رائٹ سائڈ پہ یہ لکھا ہوا تھا کہ حسین مصباح ہدی و سفینۃ نجات۔ صلوات پڑھنے ایک بار اور۔ مصباح ہدی کا مطلب کیا ہے؟ دی لیمپ آف گائیڈنس۔ سفینۃ النجات یعنی آرک آف سالویشن۔ ابھی بھی حسین مصباح الہدی ہیں۔ بہت کچھ کہنے کے لیے ہے، لیکن اس بات پر ہم ختم کریں گے کہ ہمارے مجالس، ہمارے عزاداری کا سلسلہ، یہ سب انسٹیٹیوشن ہے جو حسین نے دیا ہے۔ اگر شہادت نہیں ہوتی تو یہ مجالس نہیں ہوتے، یہ مجالس نہیں ہوتے تو ہمارے لیے ایک لحاظ سے صدیوں سے یہ ماس ایجوکیشن کا سلسلہ چل رہا ہے۔ صحیح استعمال کریں یا نہ کریں یہ ہمارا پرابلم ہے، عزاداری کا پرابلم نہیں ہے۔ اکثر لوگ کہتے ہیں لیکن اس سے کیا ہو رہا ہے، کیا فائدہ ہے؟ یہ پرابلم عزاداری کا نہیں ہے، پرابلم لوگوں کا ہے۔ انسٹیٹیوشن آپ کو دیا گیا ہے، اس کو صحیح معنوں میں آپ یوز کریں، یوٹیلائز کریں، تو آپ کو اندازہ ہوگا کہ صحیح معنوں میں حسین ابھی بھی مصباح ہدی ہیں۔ دوسرا عنوان جو رسول نے یہاں بیان کیا ہے کہ عرش الہی کے رائٹ سائڈ پہ لکھا ہے وَسَفِينَةُ نَجَات، آرک آف سالویشن۔ اس کے بارے میں ایک اور حدیث پڑھنے کے بعد ہم یہ محفل کو ختم کرنا چاہیں گے۔ 6 امام کی یہ حدیث ہے جہاں فرماتے ہیں کلنا سفن النجات، کہ جتنے 12 امام ہیں، آف کورس رسول اللہ تو ہیں سب سے افضل، لیکن جتنے 12 امام ہیں ان کے بارے میں کہتے ہیں کلنا سفن النجات، ہم سب کے سب جو ہیں وی آر آرکس آف سالویشن، ہر امام اپنی جگہ پہ سفینہ نجات ہے. ولیکن سفینۃ جد الحسین، لیکن میرے جد حسین کا جو سفینہ ہے اوسع، سب سے زیادہ وسیع ہے. جتنے مسافر اس پہ آ سکتے ہیں کسی اور سفینے میں اتنی گنجائش نہیں ہے. وفی لجل البحار اسرع، نہ صرف یہ کہ سب سے وسیع ہے سفینہ میرے جد حسین کا، بلکہ یہ سمندر کے موج میں سب سے تیز چلنے والا سفینہ میرے جد حسین کا سفینہ ہے. صلوات پڑھیں. اور اس لیے جب یہ بات ہوتی ہے حسین کی بارگاہ کی، حسین کی مجلس اور حسین کی یاد، یہ یقیناً اس میں وہ کیپیسٹی ہے کہ جو خداوند عالم نے ان کی قربانی کی وجہ سے دی ہے، کہ ان کا سفینہ تمام ائمہ کے مقابلے میں سب سے وسیع ہے اور سب سے تیز رفتار ہے. اور جب ہم چاہیں گے اس نتیجے پہ پہنچنے کے لیے جو نجات، جو ہمارا ڈیسٹینیشن ہوئے، تو یقیناً بہترین وسیلہ وہی ہوگا جو حسین ابن علی کا وسیلہ ہے. خداوندہ اس کا قلیل بات قبول فرما، ہمارے گناہوں کو بخش دے، ہماری توفیقات میں اضافہ فرما. خداوندہ شیعان علی جہاں بھی ہیں ان کو اپنے حفظ امان میں رکھ، تکفیری افواج کی تمام صلاحیتوں کو نیست و نابود فرما، امام کے ظہور میں تعاجل فرما. ربنا تقبل منا انک انت السمیع العلیم.
درود پیجیے محمد وآل محمد پر. میں کر رہا تھا ذکر علمدار بار بار، میں کر رہا تھا ذکر علمدار بار بار، میں کر رہا تھا ذکر علمدار بار بار. میسم نے خود پہنائے، میسم نے خود پہنائے مجھے ہار بار بار. میں کر رہا تھا ذکر علمدار بار بار. مل کے پڑھیے. میں کر رہا تھا ذکر علمدار، کتنی بلندیوں میں ہے عباس کے علم، علم کتنی بلندیوں میں ہے عباس کے علم. کہتے ہیں مسجدوں سے، کہتے ہیں مسجدوں سے یہ مینار بار بار. جیو جیو مل کے بولیے حیدری. میں کر رہا تھا ذکر علمدار بار بار، گھر میں علی جو کرتے تھے پرچم کی گفتگو، علی گھر میں علی جو کرتے تھے پرچم کی گفتگو، تو شانوں کو دیکھتا تھا، شانوں کو دیکھتا تھا علمدار بار بار. میں کر رہا تھا ذکر علمدار بار بار، میں نے علی کے عشق کے سودا نہیں کیا، ہاں میں نے علی کو عشق کے سودا نہیں کیا، آئے تھے میرے پاس، آئے تھے میرے پاس خریدار بار بار، یار میں کر رہا تھا ذکر علمدار بار بار۔ آخری شعر، جتنا چھپائیں گے وہ ستمگار بار بار، جتنا چھپائیں گے وہ ستمگار بار بار، تو اتنا اتنا ہنسے گی، اتنا ہنسے گی کعبے کی دیوار بار بار، میں کر رہا تھا ذکر علمدار بار بار، میں کر رہا تھا ذکر علمدار بار بار۔ صلی اللہ علی محمد و آل محمد۔
زیارت۔ السلام علیکہ یا رسول اللہ، السلام علیکہ یا امیر المؤمنین، السلام علیکہ یا فاطمۃ الزہراء سیدۃ النساء العالمین، السلام علیکہ امام حسن المجتبیٰ، السلام علیکہ امام حسین الشہید، السلام علیکہ امام زین العابدین، السلام علیکہ امام محمد الباقر، السلام علیکہ امام جعفر الصادق، السلام علیکہ امام موسیٰ الکاظم، السلام علیکہ امام علی الرضا، السلام علیکہ امام محمد التقی، السلام علیکہ امام علی النقی، السلام علیکہ امام حسن العسکری ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ، السلام علیکہ امام صاحب العصر والزمان، الامان الامان الامان، السلام علیکہ خلیفۃ الرحمن عزر اللہ تعالی فرجک، السلام علیکم یا اہل بیت النبوہ جمیعا ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ۔ You want this one? Hi.
You know what I want? You see my job. I want breast, chicken breast. ये खपे थे ना टेबल काटो की जाके મને હેરાન કરે છે લાઈવ વાહ 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 zama shati yake zama socks yake zama Are you happy? Brothers, may I request everyone to please be seated? Please be seated so a volunteer can serve you tabarruk. Brothers, may I request everyone to please be seated? Please be seated so volunteers can serve you tabarruk.